So things are about to go from bad to worse. What we are now hearing is that we are going to see people suffer here in the United States on U.S. soil. This is going to cause a lot of problems. The crisis that we are currently facing will turn into a completely different crisis in about 3 months. According to experts, we have 3 months. Now, I'm going to tell you what's going on. I'll tell you how this is going to impact you and what this means moving forward. All I ask is one thing, takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So what is coming up in just 3 months? Well, according to experts, they are saying that right now, the Biden administration, Congress, the American people, they're at pretty much their wits' end. What do we do with this current crisis? And the crisis that I'm talking about is our border problem. Right now, we are seeing record numbers of illegal immigrants coming into the United States. Now, immigration is not the problem. We have seen legal immigration, and legal immigration works. But when there are hundreds of thousands of people entering into the United States in a single month, that's crazy. Now, just in December alone, there were more than 300,000 illegal immigrant encounters at the U.S. southern border. This is not just people from Mexico either, right? This is a new record. We have never, and I repeat, never, seen more than 300,000 people enter into the United States illegally in a single month. This is a new record. Now, what we are facing is new problems as well. And it's not just shelter, it's not just food. Some of it is jobs. What we continue to hear in other countries is that in the United States, our border is open. People think our border is open, just come to the U.S. and you can get a work permit. Well, if you enter into the United States legally, yes, you can get a work permit and they will expedite the permit for you. However, if you're an illegal immigrant, they cannot expedite this work permit. Well, here's where things are changing. Right now, there's so many cities, there's so many states that are being overrun by illegal immigrants that what we continue to hear is that as of right now, the Biden administration doesn't need to do anything for these illegal immigrants, but if in the next 3 months we do see the United States become more overrun than we are right now, then Congress will actually have to do something. They will have to find a way to provide some assistance to the people coming in. Remember, I talked about this a few days ago, and I talked about, well, is President Biden planning this? Was this his plan all along? That he is going to allow illegal immigrants into the United States, but things will be so bad for them that, you know, the people, the citizens, the people that are working, the taxpayers, we have to pay in order to keep them here. Keep them, give them shelter, give them food. If that's the case, and now we are providing a benefit to them to stay here, eventually that could turn, and then those people could become voting members. They could become people that are allowed to vote here in the United States. And if this were to happen, and again, I bring this up, well, if you were just given, hundreds or thousands of dollars every single month, my guess is if you were given the opportunity to vote, you're going to vote for the group that was pushing for you all along. That would be Democrats. So right now is President Biden and Democrats is their plan to bring in all these illegal immigrants just in case they can increase the number of Democrats here in the country. It's possible. And now it's looking even more likely. Now I want to read you a few other things. Here's something that we are starting to see. We are starting to see at the southern border that people are coming in with fake passports. Now, we got this report the other day. It came from Reuters. Fox News ran this as well. But what we are now starting to see is that Border Patrol agents are telling us that people are using fake passports in order to get into the United States. But it's not just to get into the United States, because it's not a U.S. passport. No. They're using passports that say that they are younger than they potentially are. Now, it's tough to figure out if these are truly fake or not, but according to these Border Patrol agents, that these are fake. These people are noticeably older than what it says on that passport. There's people that are probably in their 30s or 40s that are trying to pass off a passport that says they're a teenager. And so this is something that we are seeing. And this could turn into a major problem as well. Now, I just want to give you an idea of how bad this crisis is. Okay? Because in a time when Mexico is attempting to repatriate some people like Venezuelans, well, this is turning into a bigger crisis. Because yes, Mexico is attempting to, they've done repatriation a couple of times in this past year. Okay, and so what we've seen, I think back in January of 2023 was the last time they did it. Now they're starting to increase it as well. But the United States asked Mexico to step up, do more, send people back to their home countries. And so they come all the way into Mexico, they make that trek all the way up to the U.S. border, and then Mexico decides to send them back. That's difficult. Now, would those people make that trek all the way up again? Maybe, maybe not. But it now makes them question whether or not they should, because there's a chance Mexico sends them right back to their home country. Now, I want to give you an idea of how bad this crisis has turned into. During the previous 5 years, it's under different administrations as well. 2016, we saw illegal apprehensions of 683,000 in 2016. In December alone, we saw over 300,000. Just to give you an idea. In 2017, we saw 607 illegal apprehensions. In 2018, there were 739,000. There was 1.1 million in 2019. Okay. And then in 2020, we saw 609,000. 2020 was obviously a difficult year. That was really the first year of this pandemic that we went through. Now, in 2021, everything ballooned up. Keep in mind what happened in 2021. Okay? We saw a new administration. In 2021, the amount of people that entered illegally into the United States, these are illegal apprehensions, not including gotaways, was 1.8 million people in 2021. 2022, we saw about 2.2 million. And in 2023, which was last year, we expect, we're still waiting on some of the numbers, will be about 2.8 to 2.9 million people entered into the United States illegally. This is crazy. But we continue to see this. And it's not just people from Mexico either. It's people from many countries. Right? We're seeing it from Venezuela, from Guatemala, Cuba, right? We're even seeing people from West Africa. Look at this. It says plane detained in France sheds light on Nicaragua's role in U.S. migrant crisis. What's actually happening is Nicaragua is so lenient with who they allow into their country that people are flying from in this case, I think Guinea. They're flying from Guinea. They're going into Nicaragua, but this one had a layover in France because there was reports of people taking kids, right? Pretty much human trafficking. And so it stopped in France, and then in France, now we know that it was going from West Africa. It was going to go to Nicaragua, drop off, I believe it was like 303 passengers of Indian nationality. And those are going to be dropped off in Nicaragua, and then they could make their trek up to the United States. So yes, this is a problem. Now, here's the other problem. Right now, Mexico's not sending back everybody that comes in from another country. It's just not happening. There's no way they can do it. But the United States is going to be asked to provide some assistance. Well, here's the issue. The United States, as of right now, I want to show you this little chart right here. This is today. This is January 1st, 2024. So Happy New Year. Today is January 1st, which means that we have one more week until the Senate comes back. The Senate will be back in session on January 8th. On January 9th, which is one day later, we will see the House of Representatives come back as well. So both chambers will be in session. Okay? So that's going to happen. Well, we have a holiday in 2 weeks from today for Martin Luther King Day. So they will both be off work. Then they'll come back for 4 days. And by the end of day on January 19th, we have to see something pass. That is a government funding bill. As of right now, what we continue to hear is that the United States is going to have a very difficult time, or Congress will have a very difficult time passing a bill, a bipartisan bill, that would fund the U.S. government. And the reason why we hear that is because some are pushing for additional funding for Ukraine. Some are pushing for some border security policies. Not funding, just policies. So all I can tell you is right now, experts are telling us the United States will be overrun before they figure out a solution to fix the U.S. southern border problem. So all I can tell you is to be ready. Be ready. You're going to start to see more, and depending on the state that you live in, you're going to start to see more and more people coming from other countries. Whether they're from Mexico, Venezuela, Cuba, maybe Africa, we don't know. But expect more people will start showing up to your city that you've never seen before. So, experts tell us just to be ready, be patient, because this is something that is not going to be fixed overnight. However, this is also something that can't last. And if it does, it is going to really pull on the American people and really provide you with questions as to who is looking after you. So, we'll see what happens moving forward. All I can tell you is just be prepared because it's coming. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next